we're used to being part of the pack to create safety. Because if you're part of the pack, you create that safety, you're a part of that herd, you've got more chance of survival. But in reality, if you're going to go into sales, you need to stand out.
Do you want to
G'day.
start this one?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was
Sorry.
just moving my thing. G'day, Peter. How are you going? Welcome to the Next Gen Sales Masterclass video discussion. Great to be with you.
Yeah, great to be with you too. And I'm particularly excited today, Damien, because we're talking about personal brands for salespeople.
We certainly are, and that falls under, and I'm going to plug the module here, An Astronaut's Guide to Selling, Launching Your Sales to New Career Heights. I love how we've taken this into the future, but personal brand is really, and that falls into that category of launching your sales career into new heights, is creating that uniqueness that is you. How important is that to make yourself stand out as unique?
Well, it's crucial. It's crucial, Damien, because if you think of the most successful organizations in the world, one of the most valuable things on their asset sheets is their brands. If you think of the big consumer goods companies in the world, their most valuable assets are their brands. If you think of the most successful car companies in the world, the most valuable asset is their brand, the Mercedes brand, the BMW brand, the Toyota brand. If you think about individuals, which we're talking about now, you think of successful individuals like one of my heroes is Elon Musk, as well as running Tesla and SpaceX and the Boring Company. He's a personal brand in its own right. So it definitely works. And you think, well, if it works and it's important for me to do that as a professional salesperson, what are the key characteristics of a personal brand, and how do I go about building one? What are your thoughts, Damien?
Yeah, definitely, Peter. From my perspective, building that brand is one of the most powerful things to do because it creates that subconscious connection. And when you look at most of what we do, is out of habit. We actually, we don't really consciously think about a lot of things we do. When you look at, for example, when you buy toothpaste, very few people will sit there and analyze the toothpaste. They just buy what they normally buy. And when you're creating a brand, you're creating that connection between who you are and the rest of the world. And that comes down to what we coin as authenticism. It's being your authentic self. So finding what is true to you and building yourself around that, it's kind of a scary thing to do in a way, because psychologically and through evolution, we're used to being part of the pack to create safety. Because if you're part of the pack, you create that safety, you're a part of that herd, you've got more chance of survival. But in reality, if you're going to go into sales, you need to stand out. Otherwise, people are not going to know who you are. Why would they come to you if you're not any more valuable than anybody else? And that creates a really, really difficult psychological perspective in being able to create that brand and stand out. Is that, your experience, Peter?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. I guess, most successful sales organizations, or all that I've come across, they have like a sales culture in the team, that's also very important. But if you think of personal brands, one of the issues I see coming through with the salespeople I work with is they're a bit scared of being themselves. They think, oh, look, if I'm myself, if I'm authentic, if I talk about what I love, like what I love is my family. I love swimming in the ocean in winter. I like talking about those things because it builds connection. And I know people that don't love swimming in the ocean in the middle of winter.
Yeah,
It gives them
me.
it gives them
You know
it
me.
gives, yeah, it gives them a sense of who I am. I like that's what I'm into. What are you into? How do I get to know you?
Yeah.
And a lot of folks, a lot of salespeople are a little bit concerned about doing that. But the reason we focus on it in the Next Gen Sales Masterclass is because that's what's going to help you build the sort of relationships you need to make the sales transaction take place. And the more genuine and authentic you are to yourself, like I can't tell you what your personal brand is.
Mm.
You can uncover it, and what I'd encourage you to do is to uncover that brand, identify what it is, and be a full manifestation or a full expression of it. And in the Next Gen Sales Masterclass, we take you through a process to help you find what that is and get you comfortable in the room with the other participants expressing that. And you'll find it makes a huge difference to your level of rapport with people and a
Mm.
huge level to the amount of trust you can build because they're talking to a real human being, not a robot. Is that your experience too, Damien?
Exactly right, Peter. And I love the word that you talked there, that the T word trust. You're building trust. And when you're authentic, being who you are, then you're building that trust. But part of the reason, and you mentioned it before we hit record, you talked about this fear of rejection. People often in that space, they go, well, if I do this, some people are not going to like it. But that's the reality, isn't it, Peter? Where some people just don't like, they're worried about not being liked. And some people are not going to connect with you, but that's okay. You don't need to connect with everyone to have a successful sales career. Is that what you've experienced, Peter?
Absolutely. And some of the worst people, worst salespeople I've come across are people that are fake and are try to be liked by everybody. Uh, I remember meeting a salesperson 7 or 8 years ago in a workshop. And he was, if he met someone that was a Buddhist, he pretended to be a Buddhist. If he met someone that was a skier, he pretended to be a great skier. If he was
Yeah.
someone that was from Melbourne, he loved Melbourne. Whatever the person mentioned, he was, and it was obviously lying,
Mm.
which no one's going to recommend. But it can't build relationship, and you're gonna destroy the trust.
Mm.
It's not a matter of necessarily always being liked. And having like a tremendous amount of things in common. Some of my best friends and people I like the most are people very different than me because I really love their passion and how much they're into what they're into. Like I've
Mhm.
got a very good mate of mine who's very into American basketball, the NBA. Now, I've tried to like NBA. I don't understand the game. It's fine. I appreciate the athletes. I appreciate his passion, but I love his passion. I
Mm.
find that really interesting and really curious. I really like people that are genuine manifestations of themselves, and they're all in who they are. And guess what? Not all clients and customers are going to like you, but they'll trust you and they'll love your authenticity and they're happy to have a relationship with you because it's refreshing, it's endearing, and they're like all in people. So it's about working out who you are. And we'll give you some suggestions in the Next Gen Sales Masterclass about some aspects of a personal brand which might resonate more than others that you might want to amplify a little or spend more time developing in yourself. But I think Shakespeare said it well when he said, "This above all else, to thine own self be true." Work out who you are, be true to that, and watch your sales boom. What do
I
you
love
reckon, Damien?
I love that, Peter. You've summed it up very well from that perspective, and basically it's owning it. And I love your reference to Shakespeare because I love Shakespeare references. I think they're awesome. And but as you say, it's owning who you are, and I love that. That's and it's certainly something we work through in detail in the Next Gen Sales Masterclass.
Absolutely. Like I can't wait to work with you and help you work out who you are and be a full expression of it. And
Exactly.
watch uh, and I love watching people just being really comfortable being themselves and loving that and also just loving what happens with other people. Because if when you're yourself around people, something magic starts happening. It's really quite bizarre. But I love it.
It's funny that, isn't it? How it is just being about you. That's awesome. Next Gen Sales Masterclass, get on the website, get on the phone. We've got numbers there, we've got contacts. We're looking forward to catching up with you and helping you accelerate your sales career to the stratosphere.